Well, hello there, and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm Janine, and I'm so delighted to have you join me here today, or tomorrow, or the next day, whenever you get to listen to this. Because the bottom line is, when we are present in the present, we can create our next day, our day after, and the day after that, because we have a deep awareness of what's happening today. Well, that's the theory anyway. Enjoy it and play with it. As a personal leadership coach, as a healer, and a person with psychic abilities, as well as intuitive ones and a few others, I love helping people. I so enjoy helping people see the bigger picture. What I've come to understand, though, is the person is in a state of readiness, or else I'm wasting their time and my time. My husband always says, Janine, you're laying seeds. Well, that's wonderful. I love laying seeds. I enjoy knowing that through giving people awareness, helping them have the ability to be more conscious of what's going on in their life, I'm able to lay that seed so then when somebody else comes along and waters it, and somebody else comes along and puts manure on it, and the season arrives, they are able to explore it and understand it. For other people, it's amazing that they're ready to bloom. And I'm the one who gets to help that bloom come about where somebody else has laid the seeds. I've also seen when I've laid the seeds and seen it come to its completion. What am I waffling on about? Well, that's an interesting point of view. I'm talking about change, I'm talking about capacity, and I'm talking about preparation. In Mindset Alchemy, we get to know intuitively, which means we listen to our soul, we listen to our body, we listen to all the signs around us. And when we tune into our intuition, we're tuning into spirit. When I use my psychic abilities, I'm tuning into your energies, into your auras, and into your past, present, and future. I only do it consciously, so don't worry. I love the way Sonia Choquette says you learn to read life. It's wonderful. Yes, we get to learn to read life, and we get to do it using all of our senses, because this is what helps us build the capacity to grow, to be more, to recognize fears, and to move on. I had a very humbling realization the other day around the reason I have padded my rear a bit more than I would like it to, aka I got fat. And it was because of something I looked at and went, oh, I never wish to be like that. And because I focused on it, guess what happened? I allowed it to creep into my life. And what was so miraculous for me is, since I've recognized that, all of that wonderful, previously stored energy around my butt has started melting and disappearing. It's been a process, and it's been a mindset. It's also been being able to recognize what's happening. So that was a seed I laid in my life many years ago. And it was only when I became aware of it that I was able to release it and to say, we are done with that little contract. Bye bye, Miss American Pie, and let it go. When I work with clients, as we focus on what they would like to have and where they would like to go, these little things pop up and we get to release them. We get to let go of them. Rather than going mining and delving and deepening and focusing in the past, I have discovered that there are certain things we get to clear now, and there's certain things that pop up and crop up along the way as we go. There's always weeds in a garden, and we get to weed them so that those seeds we've planted can grow. The thing is, you have to let the seeds and the weeds grow for a bit so you can distinguish between what is a weed and what is the seed and the plant that's growing from it. And this is how life works. We planted a lot of weeds and seeds, and we allow them to grow, and we decide, okay, I would like to have a sunflower. I would like to have corn. I would like to have roses. I would like to have poppies. We get to let those grow so we can recognize what shouldn't be there. Myself personally, a lot of weeds are herbs. So I get to leave some of them or transplant them or move them away. It's quick story. When I lived elsewhere, I had the most wonderful, amazing man who helped me in the garden. And the one day I saw him digging out my dandelions, and I was like, please leave those, don't touch them. And he said to me, everybody else tells me to pull them out because they're weeds. You tell me to leave them because you say they're medicine. They're a form of medicine, because that's how he could understand it. And they're food. And I said to him, yes, we all have different choices. And that has always stuck with me, that some people will pull out certain things and others will leave them, depending on what is required, what is looking to be acquired, and what uses we put into them. So, what seeds have been planted in your life that you are allowing to germinate? What seeds are being strangled and overshadowed by the weeds? Because that's where somebody like myself comes in. I help you recognize what is the plant and what is blocking that plant. And is there a use for that other plant? The bottom line is, if you would like your roses to grow, you get to prune them. You get to keep the soil around them free and healthy and to mulch them regularly. The bottom line is, we get to make choices in life. And just as we work with knowing intuitively, which is our senses, our perceptions, listening to source, listening to outer guidance, inner guidance, and people with skin on, we get to read life in a better way. With this, we get to understand what is a seed we would like to have carry on growing, and what is a weed that requires to either be removed or transplanted elsewhere, depending on its purpose and what you would like its purpose to be. Because people, this is what builds the capacity inside of us, that discernment, that choice, and that understanding of where you are going. Because if you have no idea where you're going, you're going to land up nowhere. And maybe nowhere is where you're wishing to go. Most times people would like to be somewhere in a specific spot. Sometimes it's good to go nowhere for a Sunday drive, and at other times we would like to take that drive and allocate it to somewhere that has more purpose and more intention. And as we choose to create intentionally, we tap into that field of creation. And when we daydream, visualize, and explore what it is we're looking for, we get to see what we would like to tweak, what we would like to go. And as we tweak it, as we pull out the weeds around it, we have a better direction of what's happening, what's required, and where else we can build capacity. So many times people come to me and say, oh, I'd like to have this number of people at my function, my event, and on my program. And when we look at the energy, we look at, well, can your energy support that amount of people? Can your energy support, sustainably long-term support that cash flow? Because most times we get to build the capacity, we get to build the allowing, and most definitely create the awareness. And we do that through knowing intuitively. What all of this does is it allows you to be and become the person you're choosing to be, to reach and achieve the dreams you would like to. Janine, this sounds so out of the way. Actually, it's very practical. It's all around. What is the inspiration? What is the insight you have around your inspiration? What are the intentions you have? Where are you focusing? What goals are you putting in place? What targets are you allocating? And what tasks are required to achieve all of the above? And then you plot out your action steps. It's actually quite practical. The important thing is you get to get the idea first. You get to get the feeling. You get to get the understanding. And then you put the action in place. And that, people, is the balancing of masculine and feminine energies within our bodies. Remember, men and women both have masculine and feminine energies. The feminine is the receiving, the intuiting, the internalizing, the insight, the planning, and the masculine energy is taking that plan and allocating the tasks, seeing the best ways of doing it, growing ourselves into it, and then taking action on it. And you can see it's a free flow. It flows around. So as we take the action, we get more understanding of it. We get more intuitions around it. We get to then allocate different tasks to it, different ways of doing. Where things haven't worked so well, we shake it up and see where the weeds are, pull them out, and then set the planning, the tasks, and the action steps in place. I love it when a plan comes together. What is your plan for the rest of the next 6 weeks? What intentions do you have around it? And what tasks have you allocated to take action with it? Enjoy thinking about that, and remember to ask yourself, well, how can life get any better than this? Also, what else is possible? Enjoy exploring those options and have a beautiful and glorious day. Bye-bye.